Okay, so this is 24.3, and I just need to set a caveat before before I go through this. So today is Saturday, and we've just done a workout, and now we're doing 24.3. The workout wasn't hugely heavy or anything like that. It was a warm up, and it was shoulder presses and what else was it? Back squats. But also on Thursday, I did two workouts. The first one was a weighted pull-up workout, and then Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. I did Fran, which of course is 21, 15 and 9 thrusters and pull-ups. And then Thursday night, obviously, they announced this workout, and I'm like, oh, okay. So today, doing the workout, oh my gosh, like you see me just come off the ring there, I am in a lot of pain already, because my entire chest and my lats are agony from all the pull-ups I did on Thursday. So I got on the bar and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really going to hurt. Like normally I could just get up there and do 10 pull-ups straight away, but I mean I'm gassed at this point already. So I just wanted to caveat that in case you wondered what on earth was going on. So I'm 51, but I did the Masters 55 plus RX. So on the bar there is it's supposed to be 29 kilos, but it's 30 kilos, and then it's 10 chin over bar pull-ups. So we did 10 thrusters, 10 over bar chin-ups, and at this point, like, I know that it's going to get easier. I know that once the blood circulates into my lats in particular, that was hurting, and my forearms were agony as well from the Fran that we did 2 days ago. So like I'm really struggling at this point, and at this point as well I'm actually like, oh, 30 kilogram thrusters, these are actually a rest, and you can see I'm moving my arms around and I'm just trying to shake it off a little bit, trying to get any lactic acid. It's not really built up yet, but just trying to get movement into those muscles. Back onto the thrusters. Instead of seeing my butt, now you get to see my fat tummy, which is always great. And by the way, I'm alright with my body shape. I'm fairly happy with it, to be honest with you. I could do with losing 5 kilos. I put 7 kilos back on, but it will come. Summer's coming, and that beach body is just around the corner, right? As we say to ourselves every year. So I did ask for permission from the other guys, by the way, if it was okay for me to film, and they were like, yeah, that's fine, which is really cool. And we don't really have an issue on filming at the gym, but I like to ask for permission. They're both Spanish, and my Spanish is dreadful, but we got the message over. Well, I think I did. Maybe thought I was asking for something else. Now, I'm pretty gassed at this point, and it's not necessarily gassed. I'm looking at this bar, and I'm like, these pull-ups are agony. And part of me was also thinking, I'm just going to stop filming, because there's no point. I can't do it. Like the mental gymnastics that we play with ourselves in our heads about what our capabilities are and what we can do and what we can't do and what we're capable of, it is significant. And one of the biggest things that I've learned from CrossFit is this temerity to keep on going, the resilience to battle through even though everything hurts. Now, speaking of everything that hurts, my hands just underneath my fingers, I'd caught myself a couple of times on Thursday and slowly getting kind of calluses, even though I'm using cayeras, as we call them, but hand grips in English. Even though I've got cayeras on, and I've just chalked up my hands as well to see if that helps, and it helps a little bit, doesn't it? But it doesn't, it's still painful. It was there from 2 days ago, so it's still there now. Anyway, so I'm just getting my chin over that bar, using some momentum to get myself up there, of course, but no bands or assisted pull-ups or anything like that. So now I'm starting to get gassed, and now I'm like, oh, okay, I've come out the gate far too fast, and regretting that, of course, instead of pacing myself, because you're excited about, doing a workout, and then back onto the thrusters, and 30 kilo thrusters, like on Thursday when I did these, it felt like, this is a lot. And later on, we actually increased the weight to 43 kilograms, which is the official RX weight for 55 plus, even though I'm only 51. The official RX for a 51-year-old is 60 kilos, which is ridiculous, okay? And this is like my little bugbear with CrossFit Games, is that you're lifting the same weight as someone who's 25. Like, they're 25. I'm 51. I'm twice their age. I'm like, no, you can just lift the same weight, 60 kilos. Like, on what part of this earth am I able to do that as a 50-year-old? Now, I've only been doing CrossFit for 2 years. And also this year I've really struggled getting started. Like, my workouts have been really inconsistent. My food has been incredibly inconsistent. Probably started this year at like 74 kilos, maybe 73, and I'm really up to 76 and a half kilos at this point in time. Last week was 77. So I'm just really trying to focus on eating better, and trying to lose some weight. When we did those weighted pull-ups 2 days ago, there's an extra 10 kilos there, and my lightest last year was 70 kilos, and then our dog died, as I mentioned in the last video, and then I put the weight back on, and I've really struggled actually losing that weight again. My mindset has been quite poor really. But this is just part of it. This is part of life, and this is part of who we are, and this is going to happen to everybody, isn't it? Now at this point, I don't know why, I think I went to get some chalk there, maybe. I think as well I was looking for the clock. Now I didn't know where the clock was, and I couldn't really time exactly what was going on and when. This is not an official timed workout. The box where I work out isn't affiliated at all. It's just a very small box. It's actually in a squash court, believe it or not. That's a squash court, and to the left is the back wall. So I'm actually facing the back wall of a squash court there. And then there's another squash court just next to it, and so and that's the building, effectively 2 squash courts, and then they've converted it into a CrossFit kind of gym, but it's not affiliated in any way. So back on the pull-ups, really struggling on the pull-ups now. Obviously, lactic acid is kicking in. We're halfway through the workout, more or less. Don't know how many rounds I'm on here, but I was keeping score, and actually I do struggle to keep score in my own head. And I hear, some people get like poker chips, from the casino. They get some of those, or buttons, or anything basically to move across on each round, so they don't have to remember each round, as long as they remember to move a chip across to another space, so they can see how many rounds I've actually done, because I do tend to forget quite easily actually, and the more gassed I get, the more I'm going to forget, basically. It's quite funny. And back into the next set of thrusters. I'm feeling alright on the thrusters actually, and I guess the confidence from the thrusters comes on the last set that I did on Thursday. Now my thrusters can be improved, of course, and the way that I can improve my thrusters is that as I'm going down with the bar, my body then goes down as well. And actually what I'm doing is I'm just getting some water. What I'm doing is I'm pulling the bar to my shoulders and then going into a squat position. Okay, and that obviously wastes time, that times 50. It wastes a significant amount of time, wastes a minute, let's say. But when I'm so gassed, I do really find that challenging. Now the next workout I'm gonna do is moving off 30 kilos, and I'm just gonna actually work out at 40 kilos on the thrusters, because that really should be my basic weight. And whilst I might find that somewhat challenging, that's what CrossFit is about, isn't it? That's where you're gonna get growth. And I'm just really trying to get through this, because I'm in a lot of pain here, because the workouts that I did 2 days ago, my lats are obviously hurting on the shoulders to overheads on those thrusters. Picking up the bar and doing the cleans, nice and easy, and then into the overhead, that's challenging. And then obviously going into the pull-ups again is fairly challenging for me, just because I'm in so much pain. Now I think I've actually finished the first set there, and so you're supposed to have a 1 minute rest, and I actually don't know how long of a rest I got. I've gone to chalk up actually, because because I think this is probably my final set of pull-ups to do. Last set of 10, just trying to get through them. And at this point, I'm breaking them down into like 5s and then 3s and then 2s usually. And that pain didn't really stop. The pain from the right at the start didn't actually stop. It just went all the way through this workout. God damn it! And maybe it's a bad idea to do a Fran on the Thursday, but then we didn't actually know what the workout was going to be. But you know what? I was thinking about this, and part of me is just like, this is what CrossFit is. If you're in a burning building, like, it's not an announcement 4 days before that you're going to be in a burning building, right? You have to save a kid. You just have to climb the rope, get up to the next floor, put the kid on your back, climb down the rope, monkey bar yourself over to somewhere else. Our dog escaped. We got a new rescue dog after the previous one died, and our dog escaped by accident. Someone had left the gate open, a visitor, and she was running down the street. Like, I didn't have that as an announcement 4 days before, and basically sprinted in bare feet for 200 meters to catch this blooming dog. And she's fast. Dogs are fast, right? She's 7 years old. She's a Labrador. She's fast, and dogs can run forever. And as I'm running down the street, obviously she's fast, and I'm like, there's a busy road at the bottom, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to get her before she gets to this busy road. Anyway, I caught her up, picked her up, brought her back. Like, that's what CrossFit is, And by the way, I'm just changing the bar here, going up to 43 kilos during this 1 minute of rest. And even this is painful right now. And by the way, I've never done a 43 kilogram thruster before. I'd never done it. I've done 40 kilos, but also never done 43 kilos at the end of a workout. And my end time here, by the way, was 111 reps. I got one full set of 7 on the 43 kilogram thrusters. And then the second bit, it wasn't pull-ups, but it was chest to bar. And so I did jumping chest to bar. And I think on a couple of them, I managed to get maybe 2 reps in a go. But here I am kind of struggling here, thinking, how on earth am I going to lift this 43 kilogram bar? And actually, it was all right. I just step into it, and it's okay. And it's surprisingly okay. I don't know why I was thinking that I wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, I suppose it's 13 kilos. It's almost about 45% more than the previous one. But the key here is just to go slow. Like, who am I racing against, really? I'm not racing against anybody. I'm just racing against me. It's not even like I've done this before. Like, I'm not racing against my previous time. I'll have to get some more chalk because my hands are kind of feeling a little bit ripped here. And you'll notice, by the way, when I threw that bar down, I'm like, I'm gurgling at the bar. Like, so that's what you're supposed to do when you do CrossFit. You like to throw the bars down, which you do. It's part of it. So, again, we're back to self-talk, right? This is where you're talking to yourself. Come on, you got this. I've got Mickey from Rocky. Come on, you son of a bitch. He's in my head still. I think he'll always be there. He lives there rent-free. When I'm struggling to finish a workout, and I'm feeling pretty gassed, of course. And actually, do you know what I'm worried about on thrusters? Is my knee blowing out. That's actually what I'm worried about. Not blowing out, but I'm just worried about my knees. I'm 51, played a lot of basketball for 30 odd years, 35 years, and bad back, bad knees. I think I'm just grabbing some water. Probably wiping my face. I always use it like a face cloth from Primark. I'm just getting some water there. And so that's actually what I'm worried about. And I think I'm about to go do my chest to bars. And I'm worried about the chest to bars. Chest to bars are hard, right? Like, everything's hard. Everything's relative as well, by the way. And you see some of the other guys using lighter weights and doing scaled. It's one of the things I absolutely adore about CrossFit, is that we can scale everything if you need to. So some people using bands, some people using lighter weights, and those lighter weights are heavy for them because they've been doing it less time, or they don't train as much, or I train less, or all sorts of things. So there I am with my chest to bars, kind of struggling at this point. And I know that we must be due time because we had the 1 minute left, and I think I'm pretty done. And I'm off to check time, and as I go check time, I realise the time is now gone. And that was 24.3.